Hello, YouTube. For those who are interested in Russian history, there is a common stereotype that in ancient Russia, or Rus as we called it, only women told fortunes, but this is not so. In fact, men also tried to look into the future. They just did it according to their own rules. Men often told fortunes using salt. All you had to do was throw a pinch of the seasoning on the smoldering coals. Then you had to use your imagination. The outline of a bell meant a quick wedding, a house meant profit, a horse meant a long journey, a circle meant changes, a knife meant a quarrel. However, if you really wanted to, you could decipher absolutely any symbol and use the key that you needed. Man's fortune telling helped decide what exactly to plant in the coming spring. You had to choose 12 old men who would go to the church on New Year's Eve. There, on the porch, they would place sheaves of grain crops planned for planting. The sheaf on which the most frost appeared by the morning was the one to be planted in the spring. And the Terek Pomors used fish scales to tell fortunes before going out to sea. Pomors or Pomori are an ethnographic group thought to be descended from Russian settlers, according to traditional Russian historiography. Living on the White Sea coasts, shores, and the territory whose southern border lies on a watershed which separates the White Sea river basin from the basins of rivers that flow south. So they would take the first fish caught at dawn, clean off the scales, mix them with sand and manure, then lay a wolf's skin on the shore and rub the magic mixture between their palms and that skin. If the manure lay on top of the scales, then fishing could be safely cancelled for a month. If scales were on top, the Pomors would immediately go fishing. While aboard their vessels, so to say, the fishermen would throw those same scales into the sea, saying the words of a spell. After such a ritual, our Russian ancestors believed luck would definitely not turn away. It is also worth remembering that the magicians, or the volkhv, were mostly men. Such magicians were often called false prophets, which, however, did not stop Russian princes and czars, Russian kings, from listening to their predictions. From ancient Russian written monuments, we can conclude that the volkhv, or magicians, knew how to tell fortunes by the stars and perform miracles. Thus, Basil the Blessed predicted Ivan the Terrible's death after seeing a fiery cross in the sky. Now, Siberian shamans were also mostly men. To perform rituals, they needed to have good health and good physical shape, because the state of shamanism sometimes lasted for several days. All this time, they could move between the worlds, see what is hidden from others, communicate with spirits. Siberian shamans often told fortunes with stones. They collected 41 stones on the river bank, each of which had its own magical meaning. The future depended on how the boulders lay during the fortune telling. Now, let's look a little bit more at the Russian magicians. Ancient tales and legends often feature mysterious characters whose abilities and knowledge cause admiration and awe. Among them, a special place is occupied by the volkhv, wise and powerful creatures capable of seeing the future and performing miracles. A wolf, translatable as wise man, wizard, sorcerers, magician, shaman, magi, is a priest in ancient Slavic religions and contemporary Slavic native faith. Volkhv are attested among the early Rus people. Wolves were believed to possess mystical powers, particularly the ability to predict the future. The first literary reference to a wolf occurs in the primary chronicle under the year 912. In there, a wolf predicts Prince Oleg's death. With the adoption of Christianity, the pagan priests came under persecution and sometimes tried to channel social discontent against the Christian Church. The name of the divination book, volkhv, comes from the term wolf. So that's what I wanted to let you know today, and I will bring you more stories of the paranormal, of the unusual, from the history of ancient Russia and the territories lying nearby. They would get different names through the history and so forth, but basically the people there had very similar beliefs, very unusual ones too, not well known in the West, and I will bring you more stories on the subject. If you like my research, please support me through the links you'll find in the description to this video. Please like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.